Journalist speaks out. See how present and future journalists feel about the harsh comments made by Prime Minister Perry Christie. Students irate. As the College of Bahamas increases fees, see how students feel about the impromptu increase. Carnival controversy continues. More on the news involving the festival here on Student Body News. After heated remarks made toward journalists by Prime Minister Perry Christie as he spoke to media students at the College of the Bahamas, the managing editor of the Nassau Guardian, Kendia James, was asked her feelings on the situation as she spoke to students at the college's media day. Here's what she had to say.
I would admit the thing that stands out is the controversial "to hell with them" comment. And that of course grabbed the headline the day after it was said. Some people didn't agree with that. I'd say, and I would admit, and call me sensational, but if I was sitting there covering it, I would have ended up with that headline as well. But media, journalism and the media, which is called the fourth estate for a reason, and the Prime Minister does recognize this. Again, the relationship isn't always cozy, and not that it should always be. I've gotten a lot of things said about me personally. I'm not bothered by that stuff because another thing that you have to accept is that, you know, as a journalist, if you're criticizing politicians and you're making certain demands, it's in the right of politicians and other people to also criticize you. So I accept it for what it is. Regarding the Prime Minister's comment, I thought that the comment was very unfortunate, and I wrote about it. And that article created a lot of chatter. The photograph used created a lot of chatter as well. This was the article that was in response to the Prime Minister saying to hell with journalists. I thought the comment was most unfortunate. I said it in my piece. And I don't expect that that's something that he will hold against me.
While Kendia James is at peace with the situation, future journalists such as Cavante Cash are second-guessing their career choices after the comments made. Here's what she had to say about her feelings toward the Prime Minister's statements.
I asked Kendia James that question because I honestly wanted to know her take and her insight on what the Prime Minister's address towards the journalism class that day was. I think that she responded appropriately given the setting. I think that she could have gone into depth a little bit more and truly dig out why is it that the Prime Minister said, but why is it that he said journalists must go to hell? Like, how does that make her as a senior editor and her staff, people who work underneath her, how does that make them feel, people who are actually in the field? And me as a future journalist, someone that is coming up in the field, I think that what he said was misfortunate. I think that he could have conducted himself a little bit better and he could have censored his speech. Also, it would make me question as a journalist, like, well, why am I studying what I'm studying? Why is it that if this big man in politics is saying, oh, you're irrelevant, then what is my purpose at COB?
I'm Sean Gabrielle Gomez with Student Body News.
The College of the Bahamas school fees expected to increase every semester starting from fall 2016. Tuition is being increased for lower level courses by 50% and upper level courses by 33%. President of the Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas, Mark Hume, said College Council had passed a proposition intended for expanding. None of these changes are VAT inclusive. He said this proposal was previously rejected by the union, but council members approved of it. He also stated hurting the students was not intentional or a good choice, but something must be done to replace the budget cuts. He also agreed that it's bad timing because some of the students are still adjusting to the VAT increase. Here's Erin Trinquest, one of the students who are affected by this increase.
I do not agree with COB's tuition increase because we as a student body, we already do not get what we pay for. We pay parking fees and the parking lot is in half because they build in a building. When you go in the bathrooms, they always dirty. And the library, you can never find a printer. that is working. You can't find a computer. I just do not agree with this.
It's a Chevron Road with Student Body News.
The Tribune recently reported that local sales for costumes remain low despite the carnival being less than a month away. This has become a personal struggle for many costume designers, even leaving some angry and questioning where's the Bahamian support. This is the case for Trevor Armstrong. Armstrong is a 20-year-old college student who acts as a fashion designer on his off time. Trevor says he believed he was manipulated into buying into the carnival idea, and this has brought him nothing but struggle in his business.
As a young Bahamian designer, when I heard about carnival, I jumped on it. Thought it'd be a good idea. It wasn't. I made 5 costumes. 5. And ask me how much I sold. 1. That's $5,000 down the drain. I thought Bahamians would buy my costumes. I really did. But did they? No. I regret doing this. I really thought this was going to be a good idea. But I borrowed the money. That's what hurts me. The hurtful part is that I borrowed the money. It wasn't under my own. And now I have to go pay that back. That money what I was going to make from the costumes, it was supposed to be for my school fee. And now I'm going to make it back again.
Although Armstrong voiced his anger in the situation, other carnival participants remain hopeful that things will pick up and there will be a financial upturn in the near future. Colors leader Kristen Justilian says he believes the problems with carnival arise from the way it was marketed to the Bahamian people.
But there is great potential. I believe from the onset, if this were laid out as a Bahamian event and Bahamians bought into it, and we were using the indigenous products as we are using in our organization, and the local food and the local drinks and beverages and so on, it could be profitable in the long term. We have to look at this, and we have been looking at this as a business. Many businesses will turn over any great profit in the first year. The first year you really have to try to find your niche and your market share. And I believe that we have clearly defined our group, our organization, as being different. A lot of our costumes are using straw, sisal, shells, and the themes are local. The music is Junkanoo. We actually have a Junkanoo component in our package. I believe that Bahamians will buy into that in the years to come. But we have to be able to get local support in order for this to be a success. If the international support comes, that's just icing on the cake. But we have to get Bahamians to support a Bahamian product. That is how it happens in Trinidad, that's how it happens in Rio, in Germany, in Canada, all over the place. It's about local support.
This has been Ebony Spain with Student Body News.
Reach rewarded. Find out how much and from who. Illegal dumping. It's an epidemic. See how it affects you. And storytelling with a twist. COB students tell the tales of many stories, but not in as much words as you think. All on Student Body News.